Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to trim. So when you get your pot off of your bat, you'll see that the bottom is very flat. It's got this thick edge right here. We wanna trim it so it's a little round. This is the only example I could find right now, but basically we wanna have like an even bottom and then a foot, it's called. So a little thickness on the bottom so it sits on it. And then a spiral here in the middle. So I'm gonna show you how to do this. You actually trim directly on this silver part of the wheel. And you use these circles to line it up. So right now, this pot is just about the same size as this. So I'm just nose over the center. I'm looking, see if it's trimmed. Okay, and now I need to put little wedges around it so the pot doesn't move as I'm trimming it. So I just get some wet clay. And I don't want to damage the pot, but I'm just gonna put some right around it and push down like this. 4 or 5, depending on how big your pot is. I'm just putting these around it. This clay is kind of wet, but that's okay. Okay, so I've got, now it's pretty sturdy in there. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my needle tool and I'm gonna check to see if this is centered. So I flip my wheel on, make sure it's going in the right direction. And I hold my needle tool really still and I draw a circle. And what I'm looking for is to see if this circle looks like it's in the center. So what I'm gonna do actually is just for the sake of showing you what it will look like if it's not centered. So let me just move this all. Okay, so I'm gonna do this again and just show you what it would look like if it was wrong, okay? So I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna draw a circle. I'm flipping my wheel off. Okay, now you can tell that the circle that I drew is not centered within the pot. So when you want to fix this, you look at the direction, you move the pot the direction of the smallest part. So like right here would be that smallest gap between the edge. So I need to shift the pot this way. So I'm gonna move my little wedges. Re-shift it, erase my little thing, and then I'm gonna try it again. Okay, so I'm checking the distance all the way around and it looks pretty good. I could probably shift it that way, just a hair. Okay, so now I'm ready to actually start the trimming process now that I know that this is in the center. So I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna use my ribbon loop tool, but I'm gonna use the square side and then the corner of it. And I go through and I very carefully make a spiral. Now you'll notice I start in the center and I'm slowly moving this ribbon tool this direction. I'm just pulling outward. So it's like it's peeling the clay, peeling a layer off. And now this is kind of preference on how far you want to go outward with this. But remember, you still have to put a foot on here. So now I'm gonna skip about that much and I'm gonna use my tool and I'm gonna go downward. Whoops. Okay, so I'm gonna even that up a little bit, smoothing this part just a little foot. Okay, so now I have my foot, which is this ring. I have my spiral. Now I need to get rid of all this thickness right here on the edge to kind of round it off. So I'm gonna go down just a little bit farther and then I'm just curving this. And sometimes I'll use this round side too for this part. I'm just trimming away lightly. I don't want to put tons of pressure. I'm actually going to go inward just a little bit on this foot. And we're almost done. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Then usually when you're done, you take your needle tool and you write your initials right on the foot. And that's it.